All right, everybody, welcome back. Once again, we are Vice and Valor. I am Gabe, your DM.
I am Jack. I am Brian.
Wow.
I played. Sorry, I got a little too much into character, but it's okay. I am Brian. I play Jack Hoffman and a Videlkin artificer.
Name's Jason. I play Zan the Avenger, the human paladin.
I am Andrew. I play Garbage, a half-orc bard.
I am Zach. I play Bran Brightwood, a human necromancer.
I am Jasper, a human ranger, played by Mike.
Oh, I like it.
All right, so last time, the party found themselves being entertained by Orden. They enjoyed dinner with him and some pretty harmless challenges, some good banter. And then as the night came to an end, Zan the Avenger decided it was time to put his money where his oath is and challenge Orden to a duel. And that is where we'll pick up. The circle is opened. You are both armed and ready to go. And let the fight begin. Go ahead and just roll 5d20 for initiative. Just see who goes first.
14.
Okay, you go first.
Awesome. As a bonus action, I have Vow of Enemy. So I call upon the god for my oath of vengeance, and I now have advantage on him.
You feel a foreign, let's say, mind touch yours, and a surge of energy pass through you.
And doing so, my holy symbol underneath my armor glows, and so underneath my armor you see a glowing, a white glow. Mm-hmm. I'd picture it.
Okay.
And I rush forward my shield and long sword, and I move to attack.
It's on the streets, too.
Awesome. Thank you, because I'm kind of far away.
Yeah.
I will roll to attack with my long sword. I'll take the 17 plus 23 to hit.
It hits.
Awesome. I will go ahead and do a D8 of D8 of damage. Just make sure I get that right. For 4 points of damage.
All right. He takes 4 points of damage. As a reaction, he will pinch your sword into his side as he laughs at you and chop down at you with his 4-foot sword. How does 43 to hit sound?
43?
43.
It misses.
I know it doesn't.
Lying piece of shit.
Just go ahead and lay down.
Yeah, just lay down. Be done.
Good. And he slashes you across the shoulder for 21 damage.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of health right now.
It is, dude. Is that right? Or am I wrong? I can't do math right now. I think it's 11, right? Ouch.
That was his reaction.
Good.
So, I guess I should have stated that was a legendary reaction.
Oh, no.
He will take his turn now.
He can take his turn now.
He will laugh and grab you.
I think that's a strength.
Yeah, roll strength.
22.
And he will pick you up by your shirt and smack you across the head with his sword. 21 to hit.
Just hits.
Does it? Does it?
It does.
And he hits you for 16 non-lethal damage.
You mother.
And he lets you go as you fall into a pile on the floor. And it'll kind of smack you, and you awake from your knocked out state and say, "Now, child, is your time to forgive, and now is your time to forget." I hope you can move on as I have. I wish you the best. And he will turn his back and walk away.
I think he probably got a...
There is silence. Nobody is cheering and nobody is booing.
I think it's all grogginess. He just got his ass handed to him. He's just in a daze. I think he got partial of what he just said. He's laying there. He's just out.
Jack will wait for the arena to be cleared by Orden.
Orden will, he'll be off on one side of the circle. It's kind of started to collapse, and people are kind of surrounding him. And I imagine you guys go to Zahn, and he's doffing his armor, and he hands off his sword to somebody, and he's just kind of winding down from this battle.
I will.
That was fast.
I will enter the arena and try and patch him up a little bit and say, you gave it your best. But
as you guys approach Zahn, you'll hear Orden whistle, and a couple of the strangely dressed orcs will approach him, and he'll kind of chat with them in Orcish, and they will walk over to you, and they will heal you. And you will find yourself feeling reinvigorated to the point you were before you fought.
So back 39 health.
And then Orden himself will approach you and say, I respect you as an adversary and as a foe. I think your attempt was just. However, I think your heart is in the wrong place. I think you need to do some soul searching and really find out who you are.
Zan pauses for a couple seconds and looks up and down at Orden on his act of vengeance, and he looks down upon himself, and the glow from his holy symbol I don't think would be there anymore.
Are you considering forgiving him?
Yeah.
You will feel a presence you didn't notice was there disappear from your subconscious. You will feel a power fade from you. You now find yourself to be an Oathbreaker.
I gotta go look that up, but
Orden will offer his hand to help you up off the ground.
I will take it.
And he will lift you up, and he'll clasp you in a very embracing hug as he grabs his fucking hands behind his back because he's so gigantic around you.
That feels kind of weird for just getting knocked out to, hey, let me hug you.
He will say, my friend, I hope you can go from this place and lead a more fulfilling life than you have. A vengeful life is an empty one. I wish you the best. Please accept my invitation as I will offer to the rest of you to stay for the night and rejuvenate yourselves, and I will send you on your way with the best.
Thank you. I will. Thank you for not taking my life. For we're way stronger than I could ever imagine.
You are not a soul who deserve their life to be taken. I only hope to teach a lesson, if you would. I hope you can grow as I have. And he will unembrace you, because he was kind of whispering this to you. You would have heard it. None of the rest of you would have. And he will kind of walk away and talk to one of his orcs. So it seems to be the one he's been talking to the whole time. You can assume it's his steward, the one who handles his general business. That's, a little too busy for him. But, and they will come up and say, if you would like to stay for the night, we have, facilities ready for each of you. If you'd like to be on your way, that is also fine. As he said, your travels through these lands will always be safe, and you are always welcome here.
Before he left, I would have said thank you, really, really quietly in Orcish.
Do you know Orcish?
I do know Orcish.
And you would hear him turn around and whisper back to you, "Peace be with you," in Orcish. You would have heard it.
Don't think that's a word in Orcish.
He kind of peace. He kind of grunts it out. Because, peace be with you, friend. And he calls you friend in Orcish.
I don't think that's a word in Orcish either.
Semantics, everybody, semantics.
it is in this world.
By the way, I want you to know that sucked balls getting knocked out in 2 rounds. I was like,
It wasn't 2 rounds.
I got this.
It was a reaction and a single single attack.
That fucking sucked.
Dude's on a whole new level.
That everybody is humble pie served hot.
I would think I'd be better dead. Gracious, after that fucking like shit on.
So the crowd kind of starts to filter away. People go back to what they were doing. People kind of wander off, and you are the group that's left there. There is an orc kind of standing off to the side nearest to you to kind of show you the way if you so desire to leave or stay.
I'm actually going to speak with Zahn and say, after that, do you see that you are the one that entered the camp with hostility and hatred? There was none here.
I had my own goals.
I
thought I could take them. I just so quick.
I completely understand this, but do you understand what happened?
Partially. It was really, really quick.
I know what happened.
Like after, like it was just. That's it. You just knocked out. It's done. It was. A lot of it's groggy to him. Wake his ass.
Dom got knocked the fuck out.
In the head. I mean, yeah. It's just like, hey, what just happened? You just got bum rushed.
Are you okay? Though.
I feel fine.
Are you physically able to travel, or do you need to rest for the night and then we can travel?
I don't think I'll be resting tonight. I think I have too much on my mind now. I don't feel a connection.
I understand.
And you would feel a personal emptiness, as if something very large was missing.
And he's just depressed because
it's a big feel bad.
I do not understand your reasons. I do not know why you could not control yourself. However, I do respect the fact that you went through with what you wanted to go through with. That you didn't cower behind anything. And I wish you luck in your oath of forgiveness that you made towards him.
He won't say anything, he just kind of nods and he's just really saddened. He's really kind of depressed looking. And he's kind of groggy.
At this point, Gus will approach you and kneel down to you and say, "My friend, you do not know how lucky you are. I've actually known Orden for quite a while. He is old, obviously, for an orc. 5 times that of an average age, potentially. However, to show mercy is something I've never seen in an orc. I think he is quite the personage, and I think he is someone who does deserve your respect and perhaps your forgiveness."
When I went down and waking me, all the rage was just gone. Just all the anger the whole time I had for this man. Just gone.
Anger is a hollow being, my friend. And he'll say and walk away. He's not like leaving, but he's just kind of standing off to the side, giving you space after your endeavor.
Yeah, after that.
I feel it is time for us to retire. We have a long road ahead of us.
I don't really sleep. I just ponder.
A lot to think about.
You can take a point of exhaustion.
Well, they healed him though. So there's another note on Orden's book, because he had his boys heal you.
I know. I just
Well-
depressed, dude.
How long can you go without sleeping before you get exhaustion?
24 hours.
Oh.
Rolled against Constitution. And then it's
you pass out eventually.
Then, side note for mechanics, it's +5 per day. So the next day it's 15, next day it's 20.
So Jack would sleep like a baby because he feels completely safe in
This
this
has
place.
been a very long day.
Jasper also.
Yeah.
So you guys retire.
Oh, yeah.
So you speak to the orc that's kind of standing off to the side, and he waves to some goblins, and a goblin walks up to each of you and offers to show you the way. And they walk you through the town, and the town's very very dim at this point. I believe I mentioned it the last 2 sessions ago, but this is a kind of dilapidated mining town. There's tents pitched up every so often where there was burned out buildings, buildings that fell apart. But there's actually full buildings. The orc, goblin. Pardon me, everybody. The goblins all take you to the same building. It's a large, you could only assume was an inn before, and they each take you to a room, and each room is it's in pretty good repair. It's not falling apart. Each bed is nice, looks well maintained. All the rooms are in pretty good condition, and they show you to each room and tell you, best wishes. Orden has a gift for each of you that you will see it when you go to leave in the morning. They wish you a good night, and they leave after they've shown you all your rooms.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
It's in the DM guide. Thank you.
Okay, hey.
And the goblin actually looks taken aback for being thanked. And he more graciously, no, thank you, sir. There's no need for thanks. I'm simply performing a service expected of me. Gar, you were away. The goblins showed you to your rooms because everyone was retiring, so on and so forth. But they all showed you to your rooms, and they bid you good night, and they left.
Okay.
So, you all sleep for the night. You find yourselves feeling fairly invigorated in the morning. There's a note on the door that says, "Please join me for breakfast before you're on your way." But if not, then that's okay too. Maybe phrased a little more eloquently, but it's like
I'm like, but is it really okay?
slash retcon. There's another that says, "Please join me for breakfast," and it's signed by. You would read it as you would see that's Orden's signature. Zon the Oathbreaker would see that it's Orden's signature. And do any of the rest of you speak Orcish?
I do.
You do. You would know that's Orden's signature, and you would be able to piece that together. I roll intelligence real quick, just flat out.
7.
You would be able to kind of piece together that that's Orden that wrote the note that said, "Please join me for breakfast" in the main tent.
I think Mike can speak Orcish too.
Can you speak Orcish?
No.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I think so. But anyway, so it just said, "Please join me for breakfast in the big tent before you're on your way."
I know, but it wouldn't be dark or it wouldn't be evil power. It'd be, hey, I broke my oath, I lost my oath. It would be redemption. Redemption.
It'd be like a neutral power.
I'll be your god now. Evil
You're
power.
just a guy. You have 0 powers whatsoever.
I mean, you could play it that way.
Kind of, though.
Okay, you have no powers.
Yeah.
No.
So no. So
redemption, you'd have the oath of redemption. After
you're not redeeming yourself, though, is the only issue I have. So
no, and that's the problem.
That's the only issue I have with redemption is you're not redeeming yourself until you decide that the way I've been acting, maybe you decide the way I've been acting is heinous, so on and so forth. I need to redeem myself for my actions. La-di-da. But again, your actions are pretty, you went about it the right way, so maybe redemption's not the perfect way. So again, yeah, you all got your letters for breakfast. At this point, with all your relations with these orcs, I imagine you attend.
I do.
Oh, yeah. I'm
I
there.
write that down. It's the next day. Give me a second.
Zion, are you making it to breakfast? I mean, you can enter late if you want.
I think you'd enter late, and
Okay.
he's just really depressed all the time right now.
Yeah. So, you all make your way up to breakfast. You see the early morning stirrings. It's pretty chilly. It's getting late in the year, so winter is coming. It's getting late in the year. It's pretty cold out, but there's you can smell some fires going. You feel people cooking their early morning foods. You can see people milling about their errands. All these people though are orcs. They're not the humans, dwarves. They're the people you're used to seeing. These are orcs just going about normal business. They're walking to and fro, carrying goods. They're just going about normal lives. As you make your way up to the head tent, there's 2 guards on either side of the flap. They ask you to relieve your weapons, as is customary for entering that tent.
I would already have been doing that. Like, it had already been off my back and presented. Because
Going on though.
Absolutely.
Gabe, how long did it take for us to get to where we are right now? From the fortress area?
God damn it.
Jason did not take notes properly, and this is Jason's fault.
What was the travel time? Was it a week or 2 weeks
from the fortress?
from the fortress?
The fortress
What
was
fortress?
only a day.
Oh, no, because Hillsfar was the fortress, I guess. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because
The last town you were at?
yeah, because then I can picture a few.
Because, yeah,
From
you just sat outside while you 3 went in.
Say a week and a day.
Yeah. We'll just let's
from
just-
Ashabenford, it was 2 weeks up to Flan.
2 weeks to Flan. And, you adjust travel trajectories, all that. Just
We'll make it the 25th.
let's say 2 weeks. 2 weeks in a day.
2 weeks and a day. We're in the next month.
All right.
Fine.
Okay.
What is the month name?
It is now. Uktar.
All right, everybody, we are now in Uktar, the timekeeper. What day?
We are in day 2nd.
Everybody, we are on Uktar the 2nd. We are nearing the close of the year. Because this is December, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially December of the Dale calendar year.
It's the 12th month.
Okay. As you guys are heading, as you guys are relieving your weapons, it starts to flurry. It's already been pretty chilly. It was snowy. It was kind of flurrying when you guys were heading to the end of the Dragon Spines, where you ended up meeting Orden. But it's starting to flurry again, and actually this snow is starting to collect a little bit. But you approach the tent. They ask you to relieve your weapons, as you all willingly do. You enter. The tables are laid out already. They are empty at the moment, but you see Orden and like 1 or 2 of his wives, and Gus is sitting there on his left side, and there's a few other people that you saw the night before, some of the older folk from the town. They're all sitting about the table, just kind of milling about and chatting. But as you enter, Orden's like, he waves you all over, and he's glad to see you guys stayed the night. And once you all are seated, he'll ask you, did you guys have a restful night?
Yes, it was a good night.
Yeah, absolutely. The beds you provided for us were very, very comfortable. The accommodations were very, very good.
I'm very glad to hear you are taken care of. I will say I'm saddened to see your friend could not join us at this point.
I look around and realize and kind of look around to see who's missing, and I realize that Zan is missing, and I say, he's probably going through some stuff with the loss and all. Give him some time. He'll come around.
The conditions I imposed upon him were very heavy to handle for someone in his situation, I imagine. He seems to have been someone plagued by darkness, if you would. But for the rest of us, I hope we can enjoy a good breakfast. And he'll kind of wave a hand a little bit at some of the orcs behind him, and the servants, Neslin included, we'll start bringing out breakfast platters. You'll see, everything from eggs prepared a dozen different ways, meats, various breads, things you would enjoy for breakfast. Just a full, continental spread. A fantastic breakfast laid out before you. And he digs right in.
Jasper will grab Neslin's hand as she's setting stuff down on the table, and he'll look her right in the eyes and he will say, soon. I will release you.
So when you do, she will really quickly snatch her hand back and say, I don't know who you are, and walk away. At this point, Orden's just balls deep in eggs and meats and just going to town on breakfast.
Jack will be eating his fill and kind of having, small talk with Orden.
Gus will lean over to the kind of lean over to you guys and ask, how is your friend doing? How's he holding up after last night? Referencing Zahn, obviously.
He has a few wounds to lick.
I was able to discern that he's going through some pretty serious changes as a person, and I hope he'll join us soon.
Sorry, new gods. Yeah, I eventually enter. Just
So when you decide on your oath, we'll kind of make a thing of you as your oath.
I'd like to be in a church, hopefully, but
Yeah.
probably.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I want you to take an actual oath.
Mhm.
But so yeah, breakfast will kind of go on. People eating, drinking, laughing, just having a good time, waking up. Once in a while, I see Orden kind of like scratch his head.
When he scratches his head, I'm just joking.
Not scratching his head, but just kind of like holding his head in his hands, like.
Everything all right?
Age has not taught as many lessons as I hope it would, especially in those of the art of drinking, my friend. Learn those lessons early if you would.
My bad.
I do not partake in the drink.
And I'll kind of look at you.
Me either.
For sure. And
Gar-
you are
tanker again.
and he'll raise his tankard because he has one. I'll be like, you gentlemen are wise for that, and he'll take a sip out of his tankard.
I'll drink my orange juice.
The tent's kind of normal business. It's a little lighter because it's day. Obviously, the light's kind of filtering in through the red, kind of giving it an amber glow throughout the tent. You see the same number of guards around the outside. Every other of guards to scraggly looking dudes chanting to the servants in the corners. However, you would notice that there is no unpleasantries have been dealt to anybody. Especially the servants, they came out, they did their job, and they went back. There was no exchanges, even from among the orcs at the table that weren't Orden, that nobody had any unpleasant exchanges at all. And you would have noticed that the night before, too. The people in general are in the camp are pretty pleasant to all, including the servants.
I'm going to look over, or Jack is going to look at Orden and say, so I've been meaning to ask, how did you come by this wonderful structure?
This structure, it was... Have to sit there and scratch his head. 150 years, my friend, is a long time. I believe this tent, it's an ordinary tent, nothing special. We pulled it from, it'll kind of look, and I'll point to one of the banners, and it's a red flag, and it's got a swan on it that's kind of standing on amongst some flowers. It's like, that company had this tent packed up at their encampment after we defeated them, and I thought it fantastic. I liked it, and I took it.
Do you not know of the properties?
And he'll look at you, and his gaze will sharpen, like he knows what you're talking about. He's like, the properties are not of the tent themselves, my friend. And he'll kind of gesture around the room. The properties are imbued by my people.
I say, my apologies. I have almost an uncontrollable fascination with magic and the way it's used in the world. I apologize if I offended.
No offense taken. It's just I don't want any misconstruction that this is not a magical tent in itself. This is simply a tent, and my people help keep this as a place of true peace. No weapons, no magic. This is how I like to interact with everybody.
Well, then I apologize for assuming it was a magical item and not the power of your people.
Please, no offense taken. And he'll go back to just tearing shit up for breakfast.
Tearing some food up. Yeah. I want to bring up the sword really bad, but one thing at a time.
Zahn, the average human.
Average Joe.
Zahn, the average.
You guys gotta be so hurtful.
We could just call him Zahn the human.
He has a title, The Average.
The average. Zahn the average.
Zahn the bitch.
I mean, to be fair, you got your ass kicked by fucking Orden the Undying, conqueror of fucking
Devourer
of legions. So, I
It
mean,
was gonna happen.
is it really that big of a deal?
No, he's probably smacked around to several guys who come up into his territory, but it's still like, ouch. That's my prime, man.
But do you join breakfast at any point?
I do.
Okay. So breakfast's been going on for a little bit. You make your appearance.
Yes.
So Zon walks into the tent. Orden's like, I am glad you could join us, and he'll snap as he loves to do. A couple servants will bring you fresh platters of a few of the breakfast amenities. You know, they couldn't do the whole spread again, but they'll bring you some of the breakfast food, you know, hot meats, fresh vegetables, eggs, so on. They'll bring you a fresh breakfast as when you sit down.
And for the first time, you would sit down and actually eat with an orc.
He would notice you actually ate this time. And the tankard adds a lot of dramatic effect that I'm really appreciative of.
He's not saying anything.
Anytime I do a cheers, it feels appropriate. Like, yeah.
Just saying.
Orden will address you. How feel you, my friend, after your night?
It's rough. It's a lot of changing. A lot of emptiness. Things I'm not used to.
Change is generally for the best, my friend. Evil things leave your heart and make you feel empty. However, better things will replace them, I promise you. Give it time, and you will find yourself a purpose again.
Say the anger's still there, it's going away.
I cannot ask you in a night to forgive everything that has happened to you. Because I did not forgive in a night everything that's happened to me and my people. It took years and years. Here I stand before you 150 years later. It took time. Give yourself time. Be forgiving to yourself as well. And he'll burp.
Zan would just kind of put his head down and kind of move on eating. Kind of slightly push everything aside.
You're just like kind of picking at your food.
And then basically,
Gar's gonna reach over and grab like half of it and just start eating.
it's
And I'll see you doing. But Gar, my friend, I saw you play the drums last night fairly proficiently. Are you well versed in any other instruments? May I ask?
A couple. I played lyre and the horn.
I'm interested. Might we hear for breakfast, if you would?
I have to go get my lyre.
And he'll, please, if you would.
Yes. Please, Gar, sing us a song.
Do it.
really like that.
Gar will go out.
Gar will go out and get his lyre off the
Stagecoach.
stagecoach.
Come on,
I'll
Gar.
come back in.
Give us a limerick of our adventures thus far.
Leave me out of this, though.
I don't think you should.
I think you should.
It's a great story.
How dare you? You leave Zan alone.
There once was a man named Zan. He got his
attacked
ass.
an orc without a plan.
He got his ass kicked like a can.
And now he's left with a nervous tick.
I get to walk away.
Once you return, Orden will ask you to play a nice tune.
I'll just start strumming a
Roll performance.
nat 20.
And he is delighted. Everybody in the tent is just having a ball. They love it. Between breakfast and the pretty pleasant atmosphere and the music, everyone's just having a great time.
So, when breakfast starts, winding down just a little bit, I'll look over and I say, I greatly appreciate your hospitality. However, there is a nation dying of disease that we must return to.
I completely understand. My people suffered a similar ailment, and this man will put his hand on the Dragon Slayer. This man saved my people, and for that, my friend, he'll look at him. Oh, gee. I am forever in debt.
So Jack will look over. Fuck, what was Jack gonna say? I forgot.
What was Jack gonna say?
I forgot what Jack was gonna say.
Cue the elevator music.
Who's he look over at?
Over to
Odin.
Orden. Look over to Orden. Oh yeah. Jack will look at Orden and say, as soon as we finish this, I will put into motion the abilities of put into motion the plan to allow you trade routes upon the cities, to establish trade routes into the Dale lands, so that you may lift your people up as high as possible.
It'll kind of just... If you can make this happen, that is a gift that I could never repay. It means more than I can express to you. I hope that you hold true to your word, and I believe that you will. And I'll look at all of you. I believe you really will. If you should ever be in need, and it'll address all of you this way. If you all should ever be in need, please do not hesitate to let me know, because you have made a friend this night and this morning. You have made a friend.
And at that, Jack will stand up, kind of give a little bow, and say, I am leaving to prepare our horses. Thank you.
Jasper follows.
I bid you farewell and good luck. And again, he addresses all of you, and as such, I bid you all farewell and good luck.
Rand says, thank you.
During all that, I told him that I would send him word, whenever things were kosher for him to start doing, like coming down in and doing trade.
She's a dragon. Oh. Anyway.
I follow Jack. I'm going to help him.
As you're all preparing to leave, he'll wave over at the servants, and they'll come out. They're slaves for PC purposes. They'll come out and they'll start clearing the places and such, and Neslan will come and take trays, and all the rest of them will come and take plates and platters and so on. They'll kind of start picking up as you're all leaving.
Cool. We get the stagecoach ready, hitch up the horses, pack all of our stuff.
Real quick. So you're all leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all are ready to leave. As you make it down to where your horses were stabled, you find them all ready already.
They're ready already?
Ready already? That's a good sound right there. Ready already. You get down there, you find that a small group of goblins had prepared your rides. Your horses, all your horses looked well tended and cared for and fed. All their saddles are ready to go, and they are ready to depart.
All right.
You would see it.
Mount Chauncey.
You mount Chauncey. You would notice in the back of the cart a chest that wasn't there when you arrived.
I open it.
Inside the chest is...
How can you open it if you mount the horse? I open it.
Oh, yeah, hold on. You mounted Chauncey.
I hop in the carriage.
You open the chest and you find inside a like 500 gold, like 50 silver, a couple platinum, 5 platinum, 500 gold, and 200 silver. A good amount of money, as well as a pair of bracers, a quiver, and an amulet.
Do you tell anybody about the quiver?
I hand you the quiver.
What does it do?
Hard to say just by looking at it.
What about the amulet?
Hard to say just by looking at it.
I hold on to the
I
amulet.
ask the god of the world, what does the quiver do?
Tell me what it does, and I'll kill
And
you.
Lord Ao in all his majesty and glory doesn't say a word.
It sucks, doesn't it? When a god doesn't help you out.
This quiver, though, has seems to have 3 sectioned off components, though.
You can detect magic.
I have.
I could do it, but I'm no longer.
I have
Metagaming.
I have identify.
Yeah.
It would be identified.
Okay,
if I
again,
could
I
detect
just
magic.
want to make sure.
Yeah, not meant to be a wall.
I think I could have done it, but
Without actually identifying them, you wouldn't know.
I have identify. I just want
rolled
to make sure that I'm the right.
With 3 pockets.
I could detect magic, but I'm no longer.
Wait, so
have spells.
did you give Mike the quiver?
I think you
would
would.
give it.
Okay.
I slowly slide.
Notice no change. No. Okay. So, you would notice you slid an arrow in each pocket. However, all 3 arrows seem to have sunk all the way in and ended up in the same pocket. The furthest. It's not terribly important where they're at, but the furthest one to the left, if you're looking at it from your back.
Shoot him. Not here. Yeah, no, not here. Have you guys seen a nuclear?
So anyway, there was a quiver, an amulet, and some bracers in there, along with what did I say? 500 gold, 5 platinum, and 100 silver.
200 silver.
You said 200
Did I say 200? 200 silver. What's that? 2 gold?
200 silver.
Maybe. Huh? No,
Somebody
you said
kept notes,
it was-
you would understand.
I said 200.
200 silver, 500 gold, and 5 platinum.
Okay. Yeah.
Is what you said.
Yep. That's right.
But some
So-
people at our table don't keep notes.
So
I kept it all.
I'm not talking about you.
I didn't take a single note. I'll just be outright with you.
I'm talking about the guy who runs the world.
The guy who runs the world just gave you all that shit.
You don't fight the god.
That guy just gave you all the shit.
He sits down.
It's just a regular fucking quiver now.
When we sit down to play the game, he wants to know what we wrote down.
Just tell me so I know. Make sure you guys know what happened.
That god over.
So anyway,
Yes.
whether you relay any of that, you obviously handed off the quiver. As for the rest of it, that is your discretion.
So I'm going to cast Identify.
However, you would all notice that there was a chest in there that didn't belong, and he looked in it.
I cast when I pick up the items, I cast it as a ritual, so it takes me 10 minutes.
So you're there for a half hour.
10 minutes.
Well,
No, you have to
there's
detect-
3 items.
Oh, yes.
One at a time.
For a half hour.
Okay. The goblins are kind of looking at you funny as you sit there for a half hour, but you sit there for a half
Okay.
hour.
I asked the goblins, what does this thing do?
When I touch it, through the casting of the spell, if it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
So, we'll just go item by item here since you
Okay.
did it for each. The bracers. You would know that the bracers add 10 temporary hit points and a +2 to your AC for the bracers. They're called the bracers of bracing.
Okay.
The bracers of bracing.
I was going to say defending.
We have one of the most creative DMs that I have ever listened to. The best he has is the bracers of bracing.
And then you all get slaughtered by all the orcs for talking shit.
Okay.
So, the bracers of bracing.
Okay.
I guess you can name them whatever the fuck you want because they're just bracers sitting in your chest.
Okay.
No, they are now officially the bracers of bracing.
That's what I wrote
I
down.
hope that's what you wrote down. You would know that the quiver is essentially a bag of holding for arrows. One section holds arrows, one section holds bolts, and one section holds small throwable javelins. You can hold up to like 500 of each in the bag. As you pull one, it will just bring up the next. It is a silly amount. The amulet, on the other hand, is extremely special, and a very, very strange look passes over your face as you read it. Now, what it does is to a summoned minion, such as Rage Undead, has a +2 to their AC and a +20 to their health.
It's for the necromancer.
So for whoever wears the amulet, their summoned minions have those benefits.
It's for the necromancer.
So
No, it's not.
these items, I understand, were a gift from Orden. They're not mine to keep, and I have studied them in my 10 minutes of holding them and understand what they are. So now I am ready to pass them on to somebody who can use them. So I hand the amulet over to the necromancer and tell him exactly what it does. And then I hand the quiver over to Jasper and tell him exactly what it does. And I keep the bracers.
You said +2
Unless
AC.
you want to make a tanking
As
god.
you dig into all this, at the bottom of the chest is a letter that is sealed.
So
Is it better
it
than
said
it's gold?
+2
Plus
AC.
2 to the minions' AC,
Okay.
or plus 20 to their total HP.
Okay.
And
Question.
I have a quiver of unending ammo.
What's the amulet
It's
called?
not full of ammo.
It's up to you. It doesn't have a name.
But it's unending.
But
Because of this
I
reason.
would like
You,
to
no,
know.
you have to put the ammo into it.
I
Yeah.
don't understand that. But that's what Jasper doesn't have a real good grasp of magic. So that's what he took from me.
No, I would have explained that it holds a lot of arrows,
But you have to make them or have them.
and you have to put them in there.
You only have to put in one.
No,
No.
it's a bag of holding for
Yeah, it's
arrows.
essentially a bag of holding for arrows, so it holds up to 500 of each.
That way,
Jasper still takes it as unending.
Okay, that's fine.
if he takes it, then
Do you name it?
Do I name it?
Do you name it as an item?
It's the quiver of badassery.
Badass.
hey DM, you said that note was under the bottom of the chest. Does that mean it's buried underneath all that gold?
Underneath all the stuff has you shifting through.
I
Okay.
just seen it.
Sifting
I
through
pulled
the
it
guides. You would have seen it.
Okay. I was
pulled
like,
it
you said underneath the chest, so I was like, is it buried underneath all that gold? I don't think we dig through it to tell you the truth.
I pull it out and open it.
So you would have seen that it was sealed with a wax seal, and the seal is a couple of horns with two. So it's a helmet with a mohawk frill on the top, and two horns coming out from where the mouth would be.
Okay.
This is Orden's seal. Total aside. That is Orden's seal. So you open the letter, and it says it is very much intended for you. When you are done with once you resolve your plague issue, come and see me, and I will tell you where to find truly magical items.
Jack just nutted in his
A
trousers.
little bit. Yeah. That note is going to go in my bag, and I'm going to keep it.
Okay. Do you name your amulet, Sir Necromancer?
Amulet of animating.
Better than the braces of bracing. though.
No, it's not.
Whoever the fuck came up with that.
Bracers of
It's
bracing.
always
Bracing
been
of bracing.
Bracing of bracing.
The
Bracing.
bracers of bracing is just badass.
What did I say the braces of bracing did again?
Plus 10 temporary hit points, and then plus 2 to AC.
Okay, I want to make sure it's temporary. Anyway, so you find your chest there. The goblins are just kind of watching as you're sitting there rifling through all your shit for a half hour, if not longer. And you notice the snow has started to fall a little more heavily. But other than that, everything seems fine. As you're doing this, Gus comes out to meet you guys and asks if you are ready to go.
Jasper's gonna hold out his hand because Chauncey's a warhorse. We can carry a lot and move fairly quickly. So he's gonna hold out his hand and say, "You can ride with me."
And he'll... No. That's quite all right. You're in Ashabenford. You're all in Ashabenford with your horses,
I'm
your
gonna
carriage.
roll for motion sickness.
No roll for motion sickness. You are just there. 1 minute you were at the very bottom of his Orden's camp, and you are in Ashabenford now. Sorry. You are right outside of it. You're at the front gate. Like, you can see the front gate right in front of you.
Jasper's gonna wipe sweat off his brow and go, "Woo! I'm glad we didn't have to do nothing but, bro."
Please, let's make haste and let's go find Adrendon and let's get this plague resolved. I hate to see people suffer so much.
I open up the chariot door and say, or not chariot, the stagecoach door and say, let's get a comfortable ride there.
And he'll step into it. There's a guard on either side of the gate. The gate is the gate's actually closed. The gate is closed. As you approach the gate, the guard will be, halt! What is your business here? They're both humans.
Jasper will rear Chauncey, and he will say, we have secured the Dragon Slayer. We need to see Dr. Adrendon as soon as possible.
Dr. Adrendon, you say? Well, this... Alright, you would recognize... you guys would recognize this guard as the one that was guarding the gate the last time you guys came through, the very first time you guys came through, and he would let you in and say, please make haste.
I thought it was a woman.
And he will let you through the gate.
No,
the gate will open.
I spur Chauncey, and we ride it.
It is not snowing here.
Okay.
It's really warm.
It's chilly.
Oh.
It's a Qatar. It's December. It's cold. It's chilly. Anyway, so you ride into the town.
Motherfucker, this isn't Southern California.
But it could be, man. It could be.
No, it's not. It's only a couple days south.
Yeah, it's only a couple days south.
It was 80 degrees in Florida last week, man. So anyway, you guys head into Ashabenford. I imagine you head straight for Adrendon's home.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
You head straight there. You go there. It looks like nobody's home. Gus approaches, knocks on the door. Adrendon answers. What? Oh. And she welcomes him in and welcomes the rest of you.
They're all the same.
I go in.
Piece of paper, dude. I didn't realize that until
You all enter the house, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you enter the house, you notice it's pretty well cleaned up compared to the last time when she was doing her tests and shit was everywhere. It's very well cleaned. Once the Gus enters the threshold, you notice he has a little satchel off to his side. He kind of opens the top of it, chants a few words, and stuff starts floating out of his bag. Glass tubes, instruments, beakers, just all kinds of stuff just floats out of his bag, sets itself on the table in what seems to be a very specific arrangement, and a lab just lays itself out on all the surfaces. Stack of papers, pens, I mean, it just lays itself down as a working space. Adrendon enters and kind of starts talking with Gus quietly, and then they'll turn and look at you guys and go say, all right, I need 3 days from you guys to look over her materials and make some, do some tests of my own and kind of figure out what's going on here. Please don't leave town, but be back in 3 days, and I should have some answers for you guys. Earl Gesture should have some answers for you. And he'll kind of gesture towards the door like, you guys gotta go, because we gotta get some shit done here.
Jasper's going to ask Adrendon if she was able to look more into these magical tattoos on his arm.
Real quick. Cut here. We'll tell you that beyond what she looked into last time, she hadn't found any new information. After they got this sorted out, she would try and do some more looking for you.
Out of character, cut in this spot. I'm going to cast Identify on him. And if you instead touch a creature through the casting, you learn what spell, if any, are currently affecting it. Won't work?
0.
Okay, I'm still going to try.
Okay. No, that's fine.
But I just wanted to have you prepared. If there was something, you know what I mean?
Affecting Gus, I imagine.
No, affecting him.
Oh, him. Yeah, 0. Nothing.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, there's nothing out of the ordinary affecting him.
Okay.
You've done most of your spell shit on him.
I never cast Identify.
That's true. I don't remember.
You never cast Identify, but it's like,
I ask if there's any way I can help.
they'll ask, well, what do you know? Roll medicine.
15.
You'll kind of tell them what they know, and they'll look at you, and they'll chat amongst themselves and be like, all right, well, here's what you can do, and they'll offer you, if you'd like, there's some things you could do to help because of your knowledge of medicine. And they'll give you some tasks if you would like.
If I could be of service, I would be more than willing to help. I know a lot more about magic than I do medicine. I'm asking for an Arcana check of some sort, if that's doable.
Adrenaline will address you this time. Well, there's nothing at this point that's indicated this is magical in nature. I think we're looking to do some more, tests with the fungus, figure out, what's going on. This isn't something I could handle on my own. That's why I had you guys go get Gus. I don't believe this is magical in nature. However, if something of that nature does arise, we will obviously be in touch because you're a good source for that.
I am also very good at spotting the details, trying for investigation.
Roll it. Roll persuasion, actually, for that.
I say it would be investigation, roll deception, bud.
Persuasion.
Oh, I've never seen somebody's shoulders drop so fast in my life.
The air just went out of those sails.
I got 13.
It's just kind of like,
Allow me to show you my investigation ability.
Jasper,
I don't think we have need of your particular, kind of trying to phrase it without offending you, particular skills at this point. However, if we do, we will get in touch with you.
Jack.
As he said, please don't leave town, and we will try, and if we need you, we will get in touch.
We need to let these people do their business.
I agree. I was just trying to assist. Let's move on.
You all leave?
I say I will help with whatever I can.
You got 3 days to yourself. I'm gonna go. You left Drenan's house. The door was shut pretty quickly behind you as they. You kind of hear a little. You would hear very clearly that they were starting to bustle and get to work.
He's still there.
Oh, yeah, I am there.
Yeah, you're still there. So you would see that they're getting to work. You guys would see one of the assistants you recognized from the last time that she was running her trial showed up, and you guys just went outside. So you have 3 days.
I go to the magic shop.
And you go to, what was it, Calvo's Curiosities?
Something like that.
Hold on, let me find my Ashabenford cards.
Is that the store that got broken into?
Was it Calvo's that got broken into?
You said a store got broken into that I was...
No, it wasn't that one.
It was, the thing was, it was a few shops that
They were still
had healing items were getting broken into. But Calvo's Curiosities was the magic shop specifically.
Well, I go there.
Okay. Does anyone else have their heart set on anything specific? Zon.
Finding new god, which you already know about. I just whoever it takes to find it and then make RP it in there.
Who was she?
I had it spelled out.
Tamara?
Tamara.
What did
Tomorrow?
Tamara.
Harris?
Oh, the...
What did they sell again?
Arlo's. So what I have written down is locations. We have Harris Hardware Store.
What do they sell again?
It's a general store. It's the one with the punch card.
Yeah,
dude, I got 20% off, baby.
Yeah. So as far as locations that I have noted that we've been, we have Arlo's Fine Flasks, Harris Hardware, Barracks of the Riders, Wanderers Guild, and Calvo's Curiosities. So you're at Calvo's. You're gonna go check out Harris's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just need to know what they sell.
It's just a general good, not necessarily goods, but a general item store. Just any average bits and baubles, rations, potions, things you're looking, more average things you're looking for.
Okay.
Do I make it to the magic shop yet?
You make it to the magic shop.
I enter. I walk to the counter.
Oh, back so soon, are we? You'll see Calvo standing behind the counter.
I am looking for a bag of holding.
A bag of holding, you say? I remember not so long ago we had this conversation, but it just so happens I got one back in stock.
That's such shit.
I would like to purchase it.
It's gonna be 75 gold, as again, I only got one in stock. However, I was disappointed to lose your sale the last time.
I say I will give you 25 gold for it, and remember, we just delivered the guy that's going to cure your town.
You're so lucky I'm not there because I'd buy that motherfucker too. I'd have two of them.
So I'm afraid, Randall kind of like... I'm afraid the general goings of the town against supply and demand do not necessarily relate, my friend. 75 gold is a fair price. As I'm sure you remember, the last offer I gave you was 100. You're looking at 25% off. A bargain if I ever saw one.
25% off of a 200% overpriced item.
I am afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
When I first entered this shop, you said a bag of holding would cost me 25 gold.
That was then, and this is now, my friend. I didn't realize it would be such a cinch on supply and demand, as all markets are driven. All free markets, as we of the Dalelands do get to enjoy, are driven.
Who's the Emperor of Pharaoh?
It's a council of... there's a member from each Dale and a high counselor, which you guys have met. Yeah.
That's what you would tell me
So-
your name was Falk and the economy is good.
So, I am going to say, as soon as we get the land cured of this disease, we will come into possession of a town. And I can offer you a place there to sell items.
Gonna look at you. And how can you guarantee this? You haven't even talked to
Us, yeah.
We brought the Dragon Slayer here to cure the disease, so it's as good as gone.
I've seen no Dragon Slayer myself, sir. This is not a personal slight. This is business.
This is not business. This is you taking advantage of a situation.
Roll persuasion.
14.
And he'll kind of recollect himself. Dude, please do not misunderstand. I don't mean to take advantage. This is a tough time for us in the Dalelands. You know, with a plague, we don't get many visitors. People don't go out as often. Business is on kind of the downward. We have to do what we can to survive, and I'm afraid the original price we discussed back when we did is not one that I can offer now. It is not personal, and it is not for monetary benefit.
We are trying to solve the situation, and this would assist in that.
Roll persuasion.
Crit.
And he'll stop. 50 gold, sir. 50 is the best I can offer you, and at this I am merely breaking even.
Fair enough. And I slap 50 gold onto the table.
And he'll grab it and he'll take it and say, I am glad we can finally do business.
Yes, very much so. I appreciate you being more reasonable this time around.
I'm a reasonable man.
Wow, that was a lot of scraping and crawling for that.
That's because he needed
It's the only fucking reason.
With your eight strength.
Otherwise, he can't carry all of his weapons. weapons.
What? I don't know anything about that.
I can't carry all my weapons and all of my gear.
Not to mention your money.
Yeah, I do got a lot of gold. I'm pretty rich.
The gold was like 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Shit. All right, so we resolved Calvo's nonsense. Anyone else have desires? I know you're heading to Harrisk's. Anyone else?
I'm gonna go ask around and see if they caught the thieves stealing medicinal supplies yet.
So as you ask around town, the average person doesn't really know what you're talking about. You ask a guard, and they tell you. They're like, I can't really talk about it. You know, I'm not supposed to talk about it.
I'm gonna ask the shopkeeper if his situation has been resolved.
And they'll kind of. The nearest shopkeeper is it's just a linen merchant. You know, they sell shirts. They're just a modest business. They'll kind of hold their hand in their face and be like, well, I can't say we've been personally affected, but I've seen many friends who run businesses here affected terribly by this. I'm afraid that they have not caught the people responsible. If anything, the thieveries have been getting worse in these past couple weeks. The plague has gotten worse around here, I'm sure you've noticed. And you would have noticed a lack of foot traffic, even less so than last time you were in Ashabenford. The people who are out and about are even more suspicious to the point where they don't even look at you, except after they pass you to make sure you're not following them. Tensions are high, but they will say the thieveries have increased, if anything.
I'm gonna go rest till nightfall.
Okay.
Just my god.
I'm inside with the doctors.
Okay. Yeah, you're doing shit. Roll medicine.
I want to kick me out.
I want to kick me out.
What you useless fuck.
They don't kick you out, but they give you a more simple task.
Arrange these.
Count these beans, retard.
They seem to have this impression of perhaps it was something of a forged resume, if you would.
I bet they wish they had me.
And Jasper finds himself at Harrisk's Hardware with his fully decked out punch card.
Do they have armor? I mean, that's really.
It's pretty. They have a very simple selection: leather, chain, nothing above average.
Then I don't.
You would have known that they don't have anything spectacular as far as armor goes.
So if that's kind of what I was asking.
Okay.
So if I would have known that, then I would be spending my time. Where did he go?
He went to Calvo's Curiosities.
Calvo's.
Magic shop.
I would have went and tried to case Calvo's.
So, as far as you can tell, it's a relatively unimpressive place. I believe it's a one-story building, all wood. Seeing inside, there just seems to be Calvo himself who works there. It's a lone wolf operation, if you would. As far as you can tell, there is nothing special about the location.
Other than they deal in
magical items. Right.
Okay, I would want to watch the comings and goings throughout the day.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna rob that motherfucker.
Okay. So, does anyone else have any grand aspirations for this specific day? Well, we will call this the first of 3.
I'd probably cruise around, maybe if I ran into.
Just real quick aside, as you wander around town, there's going to be some recognition. It's going to be like, oh, like there's that guy. From the last
I
time.
really wouldn't be wandering around town. He would have just gone straight back to an inn.
Oh,
Went
yeah.
to the room.
You're like a rock star in this
Yeah.
town, dude.
He would have just gone straight back to the inn to rest for his night adventures.
As you traveled back to the inn, there'd be the odd person who was out and about, be like, hey, like they would recognize you.
Can we?
We're part of Garbosh's entourage. He's kind of a local sensation.
Yeah.
Something of a local sensation.
Something like that.
You gotta get that. You gotta get that mic, Mike.
Which inn did you return to?
The cheap one. Something about some shields.
The 6 shields.
Yes.
Let me start a new note card real quick.
That's what Garbage remember it as. Shields. Can't count to 6, but no shields.
To be fair, with my intelligence score, I'm lucky to be able to read.
It's shapes.
So
the one with the circle?
The White Hart Inn, the 6 Shields, the Barracks of the Riders, and the Ashabenford Arms were the inns and boarding houses.
He went to the one with shapes.
Milk products are down with the plague. Just leave it at that.
Flying spot.
Shapes, not shakes.
Yeah, shapes. I'm gonna try my medicine check again next day.
So the rest of the day passes as uninterestingly as the rest. You two, what do you do for lodging for the night?
I pick the same one and I pay for his room.
I don't know if I'll be there, but you can.
That's what I would do. Same
I'll
thing.
go to the 6 shields.
Forfeit.
Thanks, buddy.
Alright, that's what you do.
You 25.
I go to the 6 shields.
25.
Hey,
25.
what's that animal I have on the... I can't remember that animal to save my life.
Oh, gee whiz. What is it?
The
Shouldn't-
lion with the
There's
wings.
no lie. Oh, a manticore?
Manticore.
You keep losing it. You're like, what?
Dude.
It's a lion.
Shouldn't Gar get a discount for being renowned there?
Keep forgetting.
Shouldn't Gar get a discount?
No, I'm actually okay with that. You only have to pay 15 silver. As the 6 shields is where you were saying last time. They're very much aware of who you are. I need to make a renown card. The rest of the group was kind of content with just letting the rest of the day pass. The rest of the first day pass as it was. They're just kind of settling in for the night. So you are the last.
I will go to Jack and I will ask him about Calvos.
Calvo.
I will ask him about Calvos, and I will say I know you are particularly skilled at knowing magical items.
Absolutely. I've studied them my entire life.
Would you know what they're worth?
I could give you a generalization.
Is there anything in Calvos that is worth a tidy sum?
What do you mean?
This is just anything that stood out to you.
Is there?
Not particularly, but everything, as they are magic items, generally in the shop, the things are worth pretty decent amounts of money. But nothing particularly stood out to you as extravagantly expensive.
So I would be asking for anything that would be like, that would stand out.
Nothing stood out as extravagant.
Fair enough. That's it. We'll let it pass.
So, what do you do as far as lodging goes for the night?
During our conversation, I tell him I'm staying at the 5 shields.
6 shields.
6 shields. Sorry.
I will secure a room at 6 shields also.
Alright.
What's the price?
25 silver.
It's not so bad.
The person you would have spoken to, all of you, is Drogo Bach. He's kind of a goofy, like kind of dumpy would be the word I'd look. He's kind of a little like weird looking guy.
We don't make fun of hunchbacks.
Well, no, he's not a hunchback. He's just kind of like he's a weird.
Actually, I totally lying. We totally make fun of hunchbacks.
Oh. Anyway, so he's just a strange looking dude, but you would know that he was the owner, but he also tends the bar generally. But his name's Drogo Bach, and you would very well be familiar with that, and you guys would too. I don't know if all of you stayed there, but you would know that at this point.
I think I was the only one that stayed there.
I think you were too, but you'd be familiar, but you guys would know that at this point.
For some reason, I got silver something stuck in my head. I don't know why.
That could be one of the other towns.
Yeah, that is one of the other towns.
No, hold on. I'm trying to think. I don't know that there's anything with silver in the name. So anyway, you know the day was fairly chilly. The night passes, gets colder. The next day arises. Various noises, chickens, whatever, or your internal timers, so on, wake you up to a equally cold day. It is getting chillier in Dalelands. If you would, winter is coming.
I would have gone out at night.
You would have gone out at night.
Fuck is rocks?
So we have the.
Parties all night.
So from the day we arrived, we have 3 days.
So the day you arrived is included as the first day because you arrived very early in the first day due to being teleported
All right,
there.
just make sure so the calendar is correct.
Thank you, timekeeper.
I'm doing my best.
So Gar goes out at night. What does Gar do out on the town?
I would head over to the shop district and see if I can't notice anybody doing things they're not supposed to be doing.
How late? Like early AM hours, late PM?
Like 1 a.m.
Okay. Roll perception.
$11.
So, as far as you can tell, that everything in the shop district seems normal, to the best of your abilities. You would notice there's some guards wandering about to and fro. You don't see anybody really out. Maybe there you saw a human go from what appeared to be the residential side of town to one of the shops in the back. But you would recognize it as the owner, Calvo, particularly. I don't know if you'd recognize Calvo. You would see somebody go from the residential to the one shop. You would know the shop from the sign to be Calvo's Curiosities, and he would head back to the residential shortly after. But other than that, you can't see anything that seems out of the ordinary. There's a full moon, so everything's in very, very full light. So, as best as you can tell, everything is kosher.
Hang out for about an hour, watch everything, and then head back to the...
Roll perception at the end of the hour.
3.
As far as you can tell, it could be morning. But you head back. Side note. So, I'll just cut here. I'll just make it up. So, we're going to deal with weather a fair bit from here on out. The clothes you're wearing for the weather is going to be somewhat... going to be relatively important. So, it is getting colder in general. So, cold weather clothing will be required. Without, you may find yourself chilled. And I will say chilled is a bastard.
By the way, we already bought warm clothes.
I know you did, but it was a matter of if you're still wearing them, which I imagine you were because you got back the same day, so on, and it's still cold. But just as a note of reference, more than anything else, that we are going to be dealing with weather as a thing. But anyway, the first day passes by fairly uninterestingly, and new dawn arises on the second day. Again, people not... Okay, let's scratch that a little bit. So, actually, you don't really hear any hustling and bustling you would from a normal large city such as Ashabenford is. And we'll pull up an Ashabenford map real quick for those of us following us on the YouTube.
Even though we've been on the main map for forever.
Side note, Zon the Avengers, gay.
Would you like
Side
to
note,
zoom out?
Ashabenford is tiny.
It's like over 1,000 people. Like it's a big town.
Actually, on our map, it's
there's so many towns that are over like 40,000.
Yeah, it's like it is relatively. So anyway, so this is a relatively big town for. This is the biggest town of Mistledale. It's the capital. But this is the map of Ashabenford for those who haven't been following it thus far. Again, the dawn rises quietly. You hear your few crows. Your few crows of chickens here and there, but it's a very quiet.
Chickens or roosters?
Roosters. For genealogical purposes.
Why, Hannah?
I said,
say geology?
no. I said genealogical, but then I'm like, wait. It's not genealogy. It's biology more. It's biology, everybody. Science.
Anatomy.
Go for Gar on intelligence. Anyway, so the morning rises. You guys kind of wake at your own leisure. There's nothing really forcing you. Again, you hear the few crows of roosters, but there's not really any hustle and bustle that's going to wake you up. So the second day arises.
Jasper's gonna kind of go find somebody.
Okay.
Jack is gonna chill through the day, not do anything crazy.
You would know that the Six Shields does provide food. The food is, kind of, it's not bad, but it's kind of mediocre compared to what you could potentially get. Compared to what Orden had offered you, it's crap.
Will I eat the crap?
Tenfold. We'll say breakfast is included in your lodging costs.
Same thing, man.
Zon's looking for purpose. Garbage.
I'm gonna go to the town guard and demand information on the robberies that have been happening in town.
So as you go demandingly, the guards will kind of look at you suspiciously. Who are you, sir? And they're a couple of just human dudes. One of them's got a huge beard that's all black. One of them's just clean shaven. Kind of seems younger, almost like he's kind of new to the job. But the older guy will be like, hey, who are you to demand information from us, the town guard? I mean, you're just you're just a guy. Who are you? He doesn't recognize you.
I am garbage, and I will slam my fist to my breastplate.
The young couple. Gosh, like he passed through here not that long ago. He did some performances. He's a real cool dude. And the older guy will kind of look at you back. What care you of our thefts?
It hasn't been solved yet. You guys won't do it. I do it.
And he'll seem offended at this and be like, there's nothing that an average person like you could do that we, the town guard of Ashabenford, could not do, sir.
That was a very stern. I love the faces. You have to answer back when he's looking at you like that.
I lost it. I can't do it again. But anyway, sir.
The guy's just gonna look at him a little stupefied with the look that he's being given, and just I'm trying to decide if Gar would actually know how long it's been since he last dealt with the break-ins. Time's kind of a foreign concept to him.
It's been like 2 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah, but I would say with his lack of intelligence.
Roll intelligence. We'll see if you do remember.
16?
You remember. It was about two weeks ago and like a couple days. So it's still pretty fresh that there were these break-ins, and you were actually on the forefront of trying to figure it out.
Okay, so Gar will be like, it's been 2 weeks since the lost store was robbed, and
I don't remember what store it was.
I don't remember either.
The audience
It was just
will know.
a random.
Keep us honest, everybody. If you do remember, please let us know.
I don't think we actually gave it a name.
We did. We probably did.
It was Almay's the Alchemist Shop.
There we go.
There we go.
Thank you, Mike, for that.
You fuckers are welcome.
Quality note taking, everybody. At its
It
finest.
wasn't note taking. It was just the name of the shop in Ashabenford.
He started at the top of the list.
So, Gar does remember that Alme the Alchemist. I feel like that's right, though.
It is right.
I'm sure it's right.
It probably is.
They were stealing healing items.
Yeah. So, Gar does remember that Alme the Alchemist shop was robbed about 2 weeks ago, and a little bit of change.
And nothing's been fixed, and Gar's gonna fix it.
At this information, the guards are a little taken aback, like, well, the older guard is. The younger guard just kind of going with the flow, like, well, this is crazy. What's going on? But the older guard be like, well, if that was the case, then you would know that we have several suspects in custody. Roll inside.
$11.
You would know this guard is blowing shit out his nose onto your face. And that they have no suspects in custody, judging by his attitude and demeanor. Cut here.
I'm going to angrily demand to see his suspects.
Roll intimidation. Roll with advantage. Roll with advantage. You're an orc. You're a lot bigger. I think you can do it. Oh my god! I knew that was single digit from here.
12.
He's gonna stamp his shield. Seem incredulous. How dare you, sir? We of the fine Ashabenford Guard know what we're doing. We don't need the help from some. And he'll kind of like spit from some orc.
So this is absolutely bullshit. I took expertise into intimidation. Every roll I've used for intimidation has been under a 10. Every single one. I've used it 4 times. Has been under a 10.
That's funny shit.
We don't need any help from an orc.
You don't need any help from a
orc. So, how does Gar respond to that?
I crushed your skull.
Good shit.
Speechless.
Garl's storm out, slam the door. I'll take care of it myself.
Roll strength. 4. The door doesn't entirely shut as you slam it.
It's like a cupboard with the fucking little thing that goes.
Slow close.
Fuck you guys.
All right, everybody. I think that's gonna do it for us this time, and we will see you next time.
Have a good one.